Leaving Eddie Hearn's office today, he gave us kind of an update on the situation regarding the Eubank fight, which he says that they're going to, or he, from his perspective, is going to try everything he can in order to make this fight happen. He's used the word close, but what can you tell us about that situation with Eubank Jr. and that fight?
Listen, I don't really focus on the negotiations or the ins and the outs and the business side. I let my team handle that. You know, I've got the best team in the world on this, so for me it's just focus on training, making sure I'm ready. If they presented a fight date with me within 3-4 weeks, I'm ready. You know, so I make sure I do my part, and you know they always do theirs. They always deliver, and I deliver as well. So as much as I know is, I've agreed to the fight. The meeting out in UAE went well, and that's it's a waiting game at the moment.
2 days ago, you put out a tweet directed at Chris Eubank Jr. and also Boots Ennis, but let's focus on the Chris Eubank first. Why did you put that tweet out 2 days ago? Was that to kind of push a ball that's already rolling, if that makes sense?
Because I'm hearing everything else is sorted. So let's give the public what they want. You know, there's unfinished business there. There's history. My intentions will be completely different going into this fight. It's got to be this fight, really. It's the biggest fight out there at the moment.
Obviously, the reason why this fight has even come about talking again is because of Liam Smith's injury that was scheduled originally for June the 17th, got pushed back to July 1st, and now it's been moved after that. So that situation has kind of opened the door for yourselves, Matchroom and Eubank's team in order to get this fight ahead of a Liam Smith rematch for Chris Eubank.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I wish Liam Smith a speedy recovery. But listen, if the stars have aligned for this fight to happen, the stars have aligned. I feel like everything happens for a reason. That's it, I feel everything happens for a reason.
Now, originally, after that, the fight never happened, obviously back in October, the date that was touted for this was actually Saturday the 3rd, as in tonight. So, when I spoke to Chris Eubank, probably about 4 weeks ago, when they announced the rematch with Liam Smith at a press conference, he said to me that the reason why that fight didn't happen for June the 3rd was because he chose not to take that fight with you.
Yeah, again, I don't really know the ins and the outs. It wouldn't surprise me if he didn't take the fight. It's one of them ones where if he loses to me, where does he go? But then again, if he loses to Smith again, where does he go? So, you know, he does some strange things, he does, doesn't he? So it's like you don't really know as to why. You know, it's like there's just numerous things. It's just strange. But, you know, I'm happy with coming up to 160. You know, I know there was massive uproar about me getting him down to a 157, was it? Only, £3? But, you know, I'll cut up to 160, jump up 2 weights, still be confident giving him a beating. So this time it's more personal. You know, it's not just success. You know, he needs to feel my pain. He will, if we fall, I'll make him feel my pain. Every punch.
To your understanding, though, without kind of, say, contracts being signed, etc., etc., you believe that Eubank wants this fight with you, though, still?
I don't know, I'm not sure if he even wanted it in the first place. You know, so for me it's like, maybe he weighs up the risk reward, because if he loses to me, his career's done. You heard him talking in the press conference, you know, if I lose to Conor, my career's done, it's finished, I'm retiring. Well, thank God he didn't fight me, because he'd be retired, his ass would be retired now. No more paydays, no more nada, if he's a man of his word, which, if he is, I don't know, but it doesn't strike me the man that he is. So, you know, his ass would be retired now, he's got a second life, he's got a second chance. You know, to fix up, because if he fought me the night he fought Liam Smith, he would have been done within 2 rounds. I'd have been gunning from the start.
As per my conversation today with Eddie Hearn, when I asked him about likely locations for this, he mentioned September, he mentioned the UAE. Given your kind of ongoing situation with the board and UCAD, it's very difficult. Obviously, that fight couldn't be announced like in the next week or so, the next couple of weeks for a fight in the UK. He said ideally he would want that fight with you and Eubank to happen in the UK. But if it's to happen next in that time period, that's going to be unlikely to happen. This is what Eddie Hearn said, because of that, obviously, the ongoing situation.
Yeah, we're taking the right steps in order for me to make the fights here, the big fights here, the big nights. You got Kelbrook against Smith, world titles. I want these fights here on British soil. That's it's close to my heart. That is, because there's loads of supporters that pay a lot of money to come watch me fight. Over the years, So for me, that's a priority. We're taking them steps. Unfortunately, them steps take a while. They take time. There's a process you have to go through, and we're taking the right steps to the process. It's all positive, but it takes time, and it just wouldn't happen at the time. Doesn't work out, but it's fine though, because I beat him in UAE, and then we can do it on British soil for the public to see it for a second time. I think I'll be doing the public a great service.